Hello, wanted to make a quick video. 2014 Ford F-150 with the center console and the shifter on the dash. I've been looking for a good solution to safely store my firearm when I'm not in my vehicle, particularly when I'm at work. I want to make sure I carry in between time, but when I'm at work I can't carry when I'm inside the shop. So I had been using this typical little safe, but the problem with that is it's take it and you can take the weapon with you. It's also easy to get into. So I wanted something different. I've been looking at the different console vaults, and I eventually arrived at ordering a locker down box, and I'm going to put it in this morning. I want to show you how to do it and give you some feedback. So here's the box, locker down, model LD2025. And this one's got the 4-digit combination lock. It's packaged really well. Some nice foam. Got some instructions, and then the component itself. So here's the instructions on how to set the combination. I went with a combo lock rather than a key. That way you don't have to fool around with a key trying to unlock it all the time. Ideally I would like a biometric opener, but I don't see that as an option, and if you could find it, it's probably very expensive. So for what it is, it'll be fine. Then also the instructions on how to install it. They were nice enough to send a push pin so that you can reset the combination. Just wanted to give a better visual on the component itself. It's very well built. I was worried about the thickness of the metal being small and flimsy, but this is really well built. And I guess to give you an example, if you stack a penny and a nickel on top of each other, that's how thick it is. All the parts are thick, heavy duty. You can see that was the way that it latched I was concerned about as well. There's not very many pictures online, so I wanted to just show that to everyone else. A nice strong hinge. So really pleased with it. I'm sure it's going to fit perfectly. So next I'm going to set the combination. Okay, so from the factory the dial is preset to 0, and then you just twist it and then it opens up, and it is spring loaded, so it'll stay open on its own, which is awesome. That gives you better visual of the latching mechanism as well. And then it looks like it goes through that slit there, and maybe even through that second one as well. So to program the lock, need to rotate that until you can see the change dial. I don't think I can. There it is right there. It's in there. And we'll use the push pin provided and push that in. And it's kind of got a spring-loaded feel to it, so you got to hold it in and then adjust it. And each of these dials have numbers on them. You can kind of see where it says 1, 2, 3, and then 4 on the other side. And they recommend that you program each one of these dials separately and test it to make sure that it works. So you don't want to change them all at once and then release it, and then if it's not right you won't know which one to correct. Okay, I got my combination set. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I've tested it each time it works. I will say that this lock is much better in person than the pictures that I see online. Online, the pictures make it look like it's really cheap, rinky-dink. It's not going to last. I'm sure if you were going to bust it with a hammer or something it wouldn't hold up, but it's much better quality than what it looks like online. So next I'm going to go ahead and disassemble it. I'm going to need a 5/16 wrench to take these nuts loose. And these are the bolts. The bolt side is already welded to the unit, so you don't have to fumble around with a wrench to hold one side and a ratchet on the other. So I think the install is going to go pretty easy. To access the other acorn nuts here in the front, I need to flip this over and open the lid. And now you can get to acorn nuts much easier. I've already loosened with a wrench. Okay. And now this piece will come out, and now we can drop that into the truck. Okay. I chose to use my magnetic tray to carry the acorn nuts and my wrenches so I don't lose them. There's the brackets. Here's the console. It just slides right in there. Perfect fit. That's awesome. Very, very impressed. Let's see if the brackets go in as easy as that did. Okay, we're going to do our front bracket first. It just slides in there like so. And it's going to kind of hang there while they're loose. There's also these little felt looking deals to help keep the lid from rattling, I'm assuming. So we'll go ahead and get a couple acorn nuts and get those started. Okay, got the acorn nuts started. And the nice thing about this is that bracket, the holes are kind of oblong, so it kind of gives you some room to manipulate the pieces together. The nuts are just finger tight. Next, we will put the rear bracket in. And there you can see the thickness again. It's really thick metal. Just like that. And we'll get the nuts and tighten those. Okay, you can see now the acorn nuts are in place. Just gonna tighten it up with some wrenches. We should be good. Okay, got the rear and the front bracket tightened down. Obviously you don't have access to your coin tray anymore or the business card holder, but that's okay. But you still have access to all this console space, which I like. I guess the next thing I'm gonna do is get like a magnet or something and attach to the sidewall, and then that way the firearm can be resting up on the side instead of just flopping around inside the console. Still not sure what I'm going to do there, but really pleased. It's a really nice spring-loaded hinge. Stays open for you. I like the lock. It's very nice, rather than having to fool with a key. Again, I wish I had one that was just a fingerprint. That way in the dark you can easily get into it, because those little numbers will be kind of hard to see in the dark, unless they maybe glow in the dark, which I doubt they do that. But yeah, console closes with a tissue holder in place. Nice job. I really like the product.